Has anyone died from sleep paralysis? Are you sure? DreamTalking with Vickie. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? If you have, you'll know it. It can be a terrifying experience, especially if you're not sure what is happening to you. Let's explore the myths and the facts about sleep paralysis. And in a little bit, I'll tell you my first experience with sleep paralysis. It left a lasting impression. But before we get to that, let's get some background on what sleep paralysis really is. A friend told me a story about the time he was falling asleep in a hotel room in the Southwest. Right before he dozed off to sleep, he felt the presence of someone in the room with him. He realized he couldn't move or really turn his head. From the corner of his eyes, he could see a figure of a woman sitting on his bed. She appeared to be wrapped in a blanket from head to toe. She was just staring at him. When he tried to ask her why she was there or what she wanted, he wasn't able to speak. A kind of mumbled sound, but no words formed. She didn't seem to move and stayed in position, sitting on the side of the bed. Again and again, he tried to ask her questions, but nothing happened. No sound came out of his mouth. He closed his eyes. He waited for a little bit. When he opened them again, she was still sitting there. He tried again, closing his eyes. This time, when he opened them, she was gone. He said it was an unnerving experience, especially because he was unable to move or communicate, and it seemed so real. To this day, he's not sure if it was an apparition or sleep paralysis. Here are some facts about sleep paralysis that may answer his question. Medically speaking, what is sleep paralysis? When you fall into REM sleep, your brain sends signals that relax the muscles in your arms and legs. This keeps you and your partner safe during sleep. You're not able to physically act out what you might be dreaming. With sleep paralysis, you become aware, but you're still in REM sleep, so you're not able to move. You're able to move your eyes and to breathe. This can happen in the hypnagogic or the hypnopompic state. That's when you're falling asleep or you're waking up. These hallucinations are very real while you're experiencing them, but not everybody hallucinates during sleep paralysis. What are the symptoms of sleep paralysis? Some of the symptoms include that paralysis of your limbs, an inability to speak, a sense of suffocation, fear, those hallucinations, a feeling of helplessness. You may feel panic. You may feel a tightening around your throat. How long does sleep paralysis episodes last? They can last anywhere between a few seconds and a few minutes. Now, I'll tell you about the first time I remember experiencing sleep paralysis. I had no clue what was happening to me. I woke up early in the morning, finding myself having difficulty breathing. I felt a heaviness on my chest. When I opened my eyes, I was staring into the face of a monster. It looked like a gargoyle. It had grayish, stone-like skin, glowing amber eyes, sharp teeth. It even had wings. It was hunched on my chest, sitting there with its claws around my neck. Of course, I tried to resist, and the more I resisted, the tighter the grip became. It seemed to enjoy my terror. I tried to scream, but nothing happened. I had no voice. As I struggled, I closed my eyes. I could still feel the tightness around my throat. I opened them, and it was still there, sitting on my chest, its talons around my neck. I tried to breathe in and closed my eyes again. Finally, I felt the pressure release, and when I opened my eyes, it was gone. I sat up and then I jumped out of bed. I looked around the room, nothing. I went out, I got my family to come in and help me search the room. Of course, we found nothing. And later, when I discussed this with some friends who knew about sleep paralysis, they told me that scary thing in my dream was very common. In fact, when you look back at drawings and sketches about nightmares over the centuries, things about night terrors and sleep paralysis, you'll see a very familiar figure in many of those illustrations. I find that fascinating. So, what can you do if you experience sleep paralysis? The best thing to do is close your eyes. It's tempting to peek and see what's happening. You may be experiencing auditory hallucinations too. Still, try to close your eyes and visualize a blank piece of paper or a white canvas. Start to picture a place you'd like to be. Standing on a beach, standing on a mountain path, standing outside talking to your friends. Once your brain thinks you are standing and not laying flat, you may find sleep paralysis shifting into a lucid dream. Concentrate on the beautiful scene you want to be transported to rather than the discomfort you're currently feeling. When you become lucid, it can be a wonderful experience, especially if you've kicked that monster's butt and you are free and enjoying the pleasure of the choice of your lucid dream. No one has died from sleep paralysis. But if it's something you'd like to avoid, there are things you can do. You should have a healthy sleep schedule. Aim for 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Sleep hygiene is important. You probably know the drill. No heavy eating before sleep. Keep away from caffeine for a few hours. Try to do something relaxing before going to sleep. Something that doesn't involve the phone or computer screens. Try not to sleep on your back. Sleep paralysis is more likely to happen when you're sleeping on your back, especially if you're prone to any kind of sleep apnea. You can try using relaxation techniques. Meditation, deep breathing, and yoga may help. The bottom line is, despite all these practices, you may experience sleep paralysis. If you do, try to make the best of it by using the techniques mentioned to switch into lucid dreaming. If you're not successful, remember, no one has died from sleep paralysis, and neither will you. It will be a scary story you can add to your repertoire. I hope this was helpful, and if you do experience sleep paralysis or have a story about sleep paralysis, please let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see if my monster friend, Mr. Gargoyle, showed up in anybody else's bedroom. I have a strange feeling he might have. Please take a few seconds to subscribe to the channel. There are more videos about lucid dreaming and lucid dreaming techniques, which I hope you will enjoy. Be sure to let me know if there's anything that you would like as a topic. I'll be happy to share more information with you. The next video has a few different techniques to ease into lucid dreaming, especially if you're just beginning. Thanks for watching, and sweet dreams.